Welcome to Weimar, Texas for a Class 4A area round best 2 out of 3 series here in the playoffs as the Davenport Wolves take on the Sweeny Bulldogs. Davenport comes in with a record of 22-10-2. Viewed nearly as strong as some others we've seen, but they are an elite team nonetheless. They have a right-hander on the mound. I don't have any stats. '60s during the high school season. He has 103 strikeouts in whatever those innings are. Let's say at the high end 65. That's a lot for 65 innings. That's nearly 2 an inning that he pitches. So he is a good one, and that's who the Wolves will face here in the opener of this best of 3 series. And Braden Mulkey, the senior, will lead it off. And he takes ball 1 from Jammer. Hathaway, Shepard, Greenway in the outfield for the Bulldogs. Jammer's second offering is a fastball outside, and it's 2-0 to Braden Mulkey, a .416 hitter on the season. DHing tonight instead of playing left field. Ground ball towards first. Blessing up with it. He'll beat Mulkey to the bag, and that's the first out of our Class 4A area semifinal. 3 unassisted for out number 1. Now the first baseman, Gary Torres. Gary, a senior as Braden is, .448 is average on the season. One of the best hitters on the team, probably in the top 3 in almost every category, except for he doesn't hit for a lot of power. There's strike 1. As Jammer comes in. Now a swing and a miss makes it strike 2, and Torres is down in the hole like Mulkey was ahead 2-0. Torres is down 0-2, and Jammer can throw about anything he wants now on 0-2. Another fastball, this one upstairs and away. So it's 1-2 to the 2-hole hitter for the Wolves, who come in winners of 8 of their last 11. That one just outside and evens the count at 2-2. We're right behind the plate. That was over the right-handed batter's box, even though the homestanding Bulldog fans didn't think so. And there's a line drive over the shortstop head, kind of a looper, but it'll fall in for the first hit of the game. The first hit by Davenport, and we have a base runner with 1 out. Torres on first. And now the catcher, number 11, Elvis Carlton, .312 his season average. He bats with a runner on first and 1 out, the right-hander. Again, he is the Wolves catcher. Carlton, a junior. Swings at an off-speed pitch, and that's strike 1 to the 3-hole hitter for the Wolves. They have not had a great finish to the season, but they did beat Cuero 2 out of 3 after dropping there's a swing and a miss, and it's a strike 2 count now to Carlton. They lost the opener in 11 innings, 4-2, but then came back and won 13-2 and 2-1 to advance here to the area round. Torres takes his lead. There's a sweeper, and it's outside for ball 1. The count 1-2 to Elvis Carlton. The 3-hole hitter waits. Jammer's 1-2 delivery. Another breaking pitch. This one catches the outside corner, says blue, and that's the second out of the inning. So still with a runner on first, the cleanup hitter is number 24, Cooper Martin. Martin, the team's shortstop. He is a junior as well. 346 his average on the season. Has a team high 31 runs batted in. The tall, lanky right-handed hitter takes ball one in the dirt. Good stop by Pierce, the catcher. Their infield, Stewart, Hurt, Juarez, and Blessing, who made that play at first. And again, Jammer and Pierce is behind the plate. So 1-0 the count to the cleanup hitter, Cooper Martin. Looked like a slider. It's down and away, and it's 2-0. So 2 outs, a runner on first. Martin checks his card in his pocket and stuffs it back in his back pocket. Now back in the box. Jammer throws to first. Torres back in plenty of time. We've got 4 umpires out here. There's a fastball for strike one. Knee high over the plate. Torres takes his lead. Jammer checks, holds it for a while, then brings a fastball about belt high over the plate, and the count's even up at 2-2, and we've got deuces on the scoreboard with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the first from Weimar, Texas. That's a breaking ball outside, and the count goes full to Martin. So with 2 outs, Torres will get a extra big jump to go. His lead is okay. Jammer checks, brings a fastball, popped in the air on the infield. Second baseman Juarez under it and makes the play. So a pop to the second baseman's out number 3, and the Wolves don't score in the top of the first. We'll be back with the bottom of the first, where Sweeny will bring up the top of their order, Jammer, Hurt, and Pierce, when we come back on the Wolves Network. And the Wolves defense will be backing up Tristan Rudwick, the senior, 57 and a third innings, 1.22 his ERA, 63 strikeouts, 70 walks. He's 7-1, his 11th start of the season. Again, Caden Jammer leads it off against Rudwick. The Wolves defense ready. Rudwick's first pitch is a breaking pitch that comes right in the zone. Not a hard throw, but a good break. Aimed at it basically at his shoulder, and it came down over the plate. Fastball in the air. Right field. Soak up over. Can of corn for him, and that's the first out. A fly ball to right field, out number 1. Now Caden Hurt, the shortstop, due up. And just so you know, we don't have stats on any of the Bulldogs. So the most I can tell you is that Hurt is a senior. The shortstop takes ball 1. Rudwick gets his sign. The windup. Breaking ball in there and evens the count at 1-1. Hurt all over the plate with an open stance. Another breaking ball catches the inside corner, and Rudwick ahead in the count now 1-2 to the 2-hole hitter for the Bulldogs. They come into this game winning 16 in a row. Fastball grounded to short. Rust up with it. His throw to first. Makes Torres stretch, but it's still an out. Out number 2, and that brings up the catcher, Peyton Pierce. He'll wear number 8. Another right-handed hitter. Rudwick has got the first 2, fly ball and a ground out. I'm told his best pitching when he gets the ball put in play with not hard contact. That's the rule that every pitcher wants to have. But when he tries to overthrow people, maybe he would struggle a little bit. In any event, he's off to a good start here with Pierce at the plate. 1-0 the count. Not a big breaking pitch, but it broke at the end. Probably the slider. And he's evened the count at 1-1 with 2 outs and the base is empty. That one stays inside and it's 2-1. Bulky, Greiman, Sokup in the outfield. Fallon, Martin, Russ, Torres on the infield. Rudwick the pitcher, Carlton the catcher. He frames that one over the outside corner, but they don't get the call, and it's 3-1 to Pierce, the 3-hole hitter for the Bulldogs. Breaking ball hit towards short, past short, and they've got a 2-out single to put a runner on first with 2 down and bring up the center fielder, Timmy Shepard, number 6, another right-handed hitter. They'll send a courtesy runner out for the catcher. That is Wyatt Ellis, a junior. So the cleanup hitter, Shepard, is the center fielder. He comes to the plate, gets his signs at third, steps in, and the courtesy runner, Ellis, gets his lead from first. Rudwick comes home with a breaking ball that's down low, and it's 1-0. Rudwick steps behind the mound, takes a deep breath, and acts like he's ready to come back now and battle. 1-0 the pitch. Now a throw to first. Good scoop by Torres as it was in the dirt. Ellis, the runner, back in plenty of time. Rudwick is committed to pitch next year at Grayson College. That one also misses. The right-hander now down, 2 balls and no strikes with a runner on first and 2 out. Catcher Carlton sets up outside. That one is a pass ball, and the runner will go to second on the pass ball. And it's ball 3 to Shepard, and Rudwick now finds himself in a bit of a jam with a runner on second now and 2 outs and a 3-0 count to the cleanup hitter, Timmy Shepard. Excellent camera work as always. Try to keep the runner close. There's a breaking ball that comes in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Don't see a lot of curveballs on 3-0, but that one was. Shepard expecting something different, it looks, or maybe he was taking all the way. In any event, he's back in, and here's the 3-1 pitch from Rudwick. Another breaking ball, and it's high and away, and that's a base on ball. So a single puts a runner on second now with a pass ball, and now a walk to Shepard brings up Noah Juarez, the second baseman. Juarez, the second baseman, wears number 2, and he's up there with 2 on and 2 out as Carlton goes out to the mound to talk with his starting pitcher, Tristan Rudwick. So Juarez comes to the plate, also kind of an open stance. Right foot on the chalk, so he's on top of the plate. First pitch fastball in there for strike 1 as he changes it up, which you have to do even at the high school level to keep him guessing. Can't let him guess when the fastball or the curveball is coming. So 0-1 the count. Juarez waits, calls time finally as Rudwick takes his time. So Juarez back in, Rudwick to the stretch. Runners take their lead. Now a playoff pickoff at second as Russ comes in behind the runner, but the throw not in time. And the count remains 0-1 with 2 outs and 2 on. Juarez, a senior, fouls this one back up and out of play. And the count goes to 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. That 0-2 pitch back to the screen right at our microphone. Good thing there's a screen there, Wick Production says. So the 0-2 pitch fouled back to the screen, so Juarez stays 0-2, and Rudwick has to bring in another. Both middle infielders bluffing towards the back. Ellis takes his lead, then they chase him back with a bluff move towards second. The 0-2, a curveball, roped to third, but caught by the third baseman. So a line out to third is out number 3, and they leave a couple of runners. So we head to the top of the second. Davenport will bring up Fallon, Greiman, and Bulkey on the Wolves Network. And we're back to Weimar, Texas. Our 3-camera broadcast is Barrett Fallon, the sophomore, plays third base, takes strike 1 on a pitch that looked a little bit upstairs, but still called a strike. Jammer brings the 0-1. That one in the dirt and evens the count at 1-1. To the 5-hole hitter, Barrett Fallon, number 13, the third baseman. The fastball's up and in. Makes the count 2-1 to the leadoff batter for the Wolves here in the second. No score. We've played one complete. This is the first batter in the second inning. Jammer fastball down the middle, fouled back and out of play, and count goes even at 2-2. Fallon, the starting running back for the football team. One of two football players expected to play a lot of time. There's one back up the middle. The shortstop Hurt comes over. Throw is good, and that's out number one, 6-3, the put out. Brings up the center fielder, Emmett Griman. Griman, a .330 hitter on the season. Griman, a wide receiver on the football team, but he is a senior. So he has played his final football at the high school level. That one beat down in the dirt in front. Jammer picks it up, tosses to first. Blessing 1-3 is out number 2. Now Dylan Bulkey, the left fielder, and a .269 average into this game, is up for the Wolves. Bulkey is a .269 hitter. The right-handed batter faces Jammer and takes that ball down and in for ball one. Mentioned we weren't so sure their district was that tough, but they are a good team. A lot of success in the history of the program, and that one's over the zone for strike one. It's 1-1 with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the top of the second. Sokup, the on-deck hitter, goes and gets the ball back to the screen. 2-1 the count now to Dylan Bulkey. Picks that one outside. It's 3-1. Bulkey on the Wolf. And we're back to Weimer. Rudwick takes his spot on the mound. Carlton behind the plate. And Brandon Stewart, the third baseman who caught that last line drive, takes a breaking ball, sweeping wide for ball one. Each team with one hit as we play in the bottom of the second. No runs have been scored as of yet. Rudwick, another breaking ball. This one catches the zone and evens the count at 1-1. Outfielders fairly shallow. That breaking ball's down low. 2-1 the count. Bulkey in left. Griman playing him to pull in shallow center. That fastball's upstairs and it's 3-1. And Rudwick not getting ahead on the batters right now as we play in the bottom of the second, and that's going to be trouble if he can't start doing better. That's ball four, and he walks the leadoff hitter of the second. Now the DH, Hunter Bass, the right-handed hitter, steps in. Bass, a senior. Yet another right-handed hitter. The runner on first and nobody out. Rudwick out of the stretch now. Third baseman up shallow. That curveball's wide. Had a first ball strike in the first inning a couple of times, but none since, I don't believe. So Rudwick checks the runner at first. Gets his sign. Readies for the 1-0. Fastball right down the outer half. Evens the count 1-1. Still has a runner on first and nobody out. Checking the third base coaching box is Bass. Gets his sign back in the box. Kind of a closed stance. Not real close to the plate. Takes another fastball for strike 2. Rudwick gets ahead in the count. Now you're going to see some breaking balls, I would guess. Unless he wants to try to throw another one. Not overpowering with the fastball, but when you're looking for a curve, those are pretty quick up on you. Rudwick gets his sign. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded in the hole to short. Martin can't get it, and they've got 2 on with nobody out. So a single, their second hit of the game, and they've got runners on first and second with nobody out. Now the 8-hole hitter, Grant Hadaway. He is the left fielder. Talking with his head coach down in the third base coaching box. Now the right-hander comes to the plate. So Sweeny threatens here in the bottom of the second. First baseman Torres is up close. You do think they play small ball, so you'd expect a bunt here, and he is bunting. Puts it down the third base line. It's perfect. He might. No, they throw him out at first. 1-4 on the sac bunt. That's the first out. The runners advance to second and third now for the 9-hole hitter, Holt Blessing, the first baseman. Big looking, good looking hitter. As our Greiman stays to pull and still fairly shallow. Right-handed hitting batter, straightaway in his stance, about 6 inches from the inside line of the batter's box. Rudwick, curveball catches the inside corner for strike 1 as he gets ahead in the batter again. So Holt Blessing, first baseman's had several plays at first base. Rudwick out of the windup, brings the 0-1. Breaking ball low and away. Third baseman crashing in hard. So aces on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The senior Rudwick did not pitch last year, had a torn labrum. So he was out last year as Davenport had a good season. That breaking ball catches the outside corner as the Bulldog fans barking at the umpire. So 1-2, Rudwick ahead in the count. Pitching out of the windup. Stewart at third, Bass at second, 2 on, 1 out. And Rudwick must have balked. So Stewart scores the first run of the game from third, and Bass advances to third, still with 1 out. 1-2 the count to Blessing, the 9-hole hitter. Jammers on deck. Rudwick out of the windup. Breaking ball struck him out. So a big strikeout for number 2. They do have a run in, the first run of the game. Now Caden Jammer back up. He flew out to right field with on the second pitch of the game. Sokup with the catch. And he steps back in for the second time tonight. A little bit open stance. Rudwick first pitch. Fastball upstairs, says Blue. So you know they're thinking to get that runner home from third is a big one with 2 outs. Rudwick's got to keep him stranded. Breaking ball catches the outside corner and the count even at 1-1. Rudwick again gets his sign, a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball on the dirt towards third, goes foul. It's 1-2. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs and a runner on third. Hunter Bass, the DH there. Bluffs towards home. Rudwick with the wind and the pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. Count even at 2-2. You guess Jammer probably one of their top 2 or 3 hitters, leading off, and their best pitcher starting off tonight. Rudwick's 2-2 straight back to the screen. Stays alive with deuces on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shortstop Caden Hurt on deck. Rudwick would like to let him start the second inning, or third inning, pardon me. Breaking ball upstairs and the count goes full. Not wanting to give Jammer anything too good, but you also don't want to put him on base. So full count. Rudwick toes the rubber, gets the sign. Full count pitch on the way. Struck him out. Big pitch to Tristan Rudwick. They get a run in, but they strand one at third. So the first run of the game, and we go to the third. Sweeny leading it 1-0. As we head to the third, it's Sokup, Rust, and then the top of the order when we come back on the Wolves Network. Year at the plate. Fans, as you'd expect, hoping for the call, but too wide. So 1-2 now. And he swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. Pierce picks it up, throws to first. And the strikeout recorded 2-3 for the first out. Now Ethan Russ, the second baseman, due up. Russ, a senior. Ranks him in the top 3 of runs batted in at 26. Sweeper outside, ball 1. So Russ finds himself back in the batter's box for a 1-0 pitch with 1 out and the bases empty. Jammer, that fastball looked low and it's 2-0. Sweeny High School doing a broadcast here tonight. Back on their high school video process. probably on the high school webpage. Russ swings and fouls this one back out of play. Students everywhere doing the work. Gotta love that. More than 45 years ago, they didn't do this in my high school. There's another foul back to the screen. But we did have a local radio station where I announced a lot of games. Russ 2-2 the count now. Jammer has seen him foul a couple back to the screen. Brings a fastball down the middle in the air to right. Over the center fielder, Shepard comes. Cuts in front of Greenway, the right fielder, and makes the catch for the second out. That one didn't have a lot of carry. Must have been off the end of the bat. And that's 2 outs. So we go back to the top of the order, and Braden Mulkey out 3 unassisted. He's the DH. Jammer again, one of the better pitchers anyone has seen this season. Definitely one of the top pitchers in the area, especially in Class 4A. That one's wide for ball 1 to Mulkey. 2 outs and nobody on. Mulkey bats and the count's even at 1-1. Viewed by some onlookers as a killer slider with his fastball. It is dangerous. Mulkey waits. Fouls this one out of play on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-2. Again, Mulkey signed with Baylor. That's where he'll play next year as an outfielder for the Bears. Mulkey, .416 average, 3 home runs. Takes that one up and away, and it's a 2-2 count. Mulkey, 3 home runs, 16 RBI with his .416 average. So Deuce is on the scoreboard with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looked outside from here, but, you know, my eyes don't bleed Sweeny colors. Swings and misses. It's in the dirt again. That's Leiter. Gets him to chase. And a strikeout, 2-3 for the third out, and that retires the Wolves in order. No runs again, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Sweeny on the Wolves Network. And we're back with another great shot here in Weimar, as their shortstop, Caden Hurd, is due up. Grounded out second to first, his first time up as the second out in the first. Takes an off-speed pitch, breaking pitch down low for ball 1. Rudwick got in trouble by not throwing a lot of strikes in the early going, but came back by throwing more strikes to get out of a dangerous inning. That one's upstairs for ball 2. So Tristan, time to be a strike thrower. Rudwick's 2-0. Sweeping breaking balls in there for strike 1, and the count goes to 2-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Bulldogs lead it 1-0. Sweeping breaking ball catches the outside corner, says Blue. Not sure I'd agree with him, but I'll take it. And the count is 2-2. Hurt didn't think it was a strike, that's for sure. 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball to third. Takes a big hop over Fallon's. Be down the line, he'll get 2, will Hurt, as he coasts into second base with a leadoff double. Tough hop at third. Probably even money says he throws him out at first if Fallon fields it, but it takes a hop over his shoulder, and that's a leadoff double. Now the catcher, Peyton Pierce. He had an infield single to left field and made it as far as second base before he was stranded back in the first. Now he bats in the third with a runner on second and no one out. Rudwick in a jam for the second straight inning. Steps off, wants to have a conversation with his catcher, Carlton. Elvis Carlton. So back behind the plate is Carlton. Rudwick looks in for his sign. Gets it to the stretch. First baseman expecting a bunt, but it's a slider that's outside for ball 1, and he's behind in the count again. Both middle infielders bluffing the runner at second, but the batter will call for time as Rudwick, hopefully didn't hurt himself. He started to come to the plate, but then saw time was called and stopped. So 1-0 the count to the 3-hole hitter, Peyton Pierce, the catcher. Breaking ball in the dirt. It's 2-0. Pierce singled to left on a 3-1 pitch back in the first. He's up there now with a runner on second, nobody out, and a 2-0 count in his favor. Carlton moves to the outer half of the plate. That one's low, and it's 3-0. So the Wolves somewhere between a rock and a hard place right now, with Rudwick not being able to catch the zone on too many of his pitches. The 3-0. Hits him. So hit by pitch. Puts the runners on first and second. And now the cleanup hitter, Timmy Shepard, the center fielder's due up. He walked last time up, and we're going to have a meeting at the mound with everyone on the infield. As both runners and the next couple of batters meet their coach at third base. First base coach also comes over, so a meeting of everyone now as home plate Blue marks it in his notebook what visit this is for the Wolves. Dennis Schluter is the head coach of the Wolves. probably trying to encourage his senior pitcher and tell the infielders to be on their toes. Catcher Charlton has the last couple of words with Tristan as Coach Schluter says something to the home plate blue as he walks back to the dugout. Not really sure what that was other than help. It's just kidding. 1-0 score. We play in the bottom of the third. Sweeny on top, threatening again in the third as they scored a run in the second. Now threatening in the third with 2 on and nobody out. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen as they were bunting with Shepard. Again, Shepard walked his first trip. A senior right-hander, kind of slender. Waits for the 0-1. Fastball throws it by him, and it's 0-2. Bo O'Hara, the head coach of Sweeny, down at third base, and the 0-2 pitch from Rudwick to Shepard. Shepard asks for time again as Rudwick takes too much time. Rudwick back on the rubber. Shepard back in the box. Sign from Carlton. To the stretch, the pitch. He struck him out. Big strikeout with 2 on and the bases 2 on and nobody out is what I'm trying to say. Now there's 2 out and 1 out. And Noah Juarez, the second baseman who lined out to third his last time up. Juarez, also a senior. Courtesy runner for Pierce at first. So breaking ball catches the inside corner and Rudwick ahead in the count again. Hurt the shortstop at second, the courtesy runner at first. That looks like Ellis again, Wyatt Ellis. Noah back in, the 0-1 pitch from Rudwick. Fastball wide. It's 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 runners on in a 1-0 game here. Sweeny leading. One of their assistant coaches goes out to the third base coaching box and says something to Coach O'Hara. Then heads back to the dugout. Something he saw. That ball's upstairs and it's 2-1. As Juarez has taken 3 straight, 2 of them not close. So 2-1 the count with 2 on and 1 out. Juarez waits for Rudwick, who now goes to the stretch. And he bluffs towards second again. O'Hara goes through some signs down in the third base coaching box. Juarez back in the box. Rudwick finally toes the rubber. Gets his sign to the stretch. The 2-1. This is too much, too distracting. Trying to keep the runner close enough, but he's going to be where he's going to be unless you stand there. Rudwick doesn't have a pickoff move that seems to be dangerous or endangering anybody who's on the bases. So The 2-1 pitch. Now they'll pick him off, try to pick him off again. The throw not nearly in time. As Hurt is back without much of a struggle. So we'll look at this 2-1 pitch again. Seems like we've done it a couple of times. We'll do it again now as Arez back in the box. Breaking ball up too high. And it's 3-1. Rudwick has walked 30 on the season in 51 innings, struck out 63. Another strikeout here would be really nice. That's in the air towards second base. They'll catch it, flip it to second. That's a double play. So a line out to 4. 4-6 is out number 3, and that's the end of the inning. So no runs, 2 runners left on, or 1 runner left on, pardon me, 1 runner left on. We head to the top of the 4th. It's 1-0 Sweeny on the Wolves Network. There's the scoreboard here at Weimer as Gary Torres, the first baseman who has the only Davenport hit, takes ball 1 on a pitch just a little bit inside, back to the screen. No runs, 1 hit. Piles this one back to the screen. Torres waits, the 1-1. Off-speed curveball that was a beaut. Count goes to 1-2 to the leadoff hitter for the Wolves here in the 4th. This game progressing very quickly. Checks his swing on a breaking ball. They'll say he checked his swing, and the count is 2-2. Looked to me like he checked it, but I don't have instant replay. 2-2 the count, the pitch from Jammer. Threw it by him.
Catcher, number 11, Elvis Carlton.
4th strikeout for Jammer. Elvis Carlton, pardon me. The catcher due up. 21 runs batted in on the season. Torres has 23. So your 2-hole and 3-hole hitter being productive as he takes ball 1. Is Elvis Carlton. He struck out looking back in the 1st. Takes a fastball low and away, and the count's 2-0. Jammer commands at least 3 really good pitches. That fastball right down the middle, and I don't know what Blue didn't see there. That one looked pretty good. So 3-0 is the count. That one looked inner half, knee high. Throws this one down low, and he walks the batter, Carlton. We have a courtesy runner. Is the runner. Number 4. I thought I saw number 6. It's number 4. So on first base, Carlton's runner, Guerra. They have a meeting at the mound. All the infielders come in and probably tell Jammer, just keep throwing. As Cooper Martin, the shortstop, is due up. He popped out to the second baseman to end the first. Comes to the plate. 2 home runs, a team high 31 runs batted in. He also has 8 doubles. First pitch fastball to Martin. Now Martin will see a lot of strikes now, so he's got to be ready for it. Guerra, the runner at first, takes his lead. Jammer to the stretch. Catcher sets up on the outer half. They might almost like a pitch out. That one looked like it caught the outside corner, but not called a strike. The count goes to 1-1. Sweeny fans really making some noise beside us here, as home plate Blue has not been consistent, maybe is the kindest way to say that. There's a breaking ball upstairs, and it's 2-1. That one definitely upstairs. So Jammer checks the rosin. Back to the rubber. Martin waits at the plate. The 2-1 pitch. In the air to left. Hathaway comes in and makes the catch. So a fly ball to 7 is out number 2. The third baseman. One home run, 17 runs batted in. He's had 5 doubles on the season. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for ball 1. Davenport has a runner on first, 2 outs now. Fallon the batter. Jammer throws over to first, but not in time to get Guerra, who gets back easily. Fallon waits the 1-0. Catches the inner half, and it's 1-1 now with 2 outs and 1 on for the Wolves. The Wolves had not had a runner past first base in this one. In other words, they haven't had runner second or third yet. They haven't scored, obviously. It's 1-0. The 1-1 pitch. Looked a little bit low from here. So the count goes to 2-1 to Fallon. Now Coach O'Hara, or maybe the pitching coach, looks like Coach O'Hara, is out to talk to his pitcher, Caden Jammer. Coach Sluter and the first base coach talking some stuff here. The batter and runner don't come over to their mound, and their infielders don't come out. Just the catcher and pitcher on the mound. Jammer's had a couple of pitches that could have been called strikes, but he's also had some not very good pitches here in the 4th. O'Hara gives a couple of under his breath words to the home plate Blue as he goes back to the dugout. So Fallon back in the box, 2-1 the count, 2 outs, a runner on first. Caden Jammer's delivery, down low, it's 3-1. Have to be chasing yet. So the runner's Guerra at first. Outer half, fly ball, right field, not carrying too far, but has some carry, and it goes foul towards the Davenport bullpen. Right fielder Greenway will get the ball back in. So Fallon now has a full count, just a long strike, but it's 3-2, and now he's got to protect. Jammer's 3-2 pitch hits him. So both pitchers have now hit a batter, and the Wolves have their first runner on second base. Brings up Emmett Greiman, the center fielder. He was out on a ball just topped right in front of the plate. Pitcher to first, back to lead off the second. Now, or with one out in the second, I'm sorry. Now he comes out with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the fourth. Wolves down 1-0 as we play in the fourth. Caden Jammer, their all-district pitcher, takes strike one over the outside corner as Jammer gets ahead in the count with a good fastball there. Ryman with an open stance, waits for the 0-1. Jammer to the stretch. Runners take their lead. The 1-1, dribble down, well, hit harder than a dribble down the third baseline. That runs the count to 1-2 though. Greiman a little bit ahead, what looked like it was an off-speed pitch on the inner half. So 1-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 on for the Wolves. So we play in the top of the fourth, down 1-0. Jammer's 1-2 pitch. Fastball back up the middle towards the center fielder. He comes in and makes a running catch. Shepard puts the ball in his glove, and that's the third out of the inning, and the Wolves do not score in the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth after leaving 2 runners on, but we're down 1-0 going to the bottom of the fourth on the Wolves Network. We're back to Weimer with the Sweeny fans in the cheap seats, not behind home plate, down the third baseline. Lots of seats here at Weimer ISD. The home team comes to bat here in the fourth. Brandon Stewart, the third baseman. He walked and scored the only run of the game. Fouls this one up off the facade. for strike one. Behind home plate, up high. That fastball catches the outer half, and it's 0-2 to Stewart to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Coach O'Hara wants to talk to his batter Stewart, the third baseman. Their third baseman Stewart's also a sophomore, just like our third baseman is. Again, he walked and he scored the game's only run. He's down in the count right now. 0-2. There's ball one. Leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. Again, 23-7 on the season, 12-0 in District 26 4A. Ground ball to third. Fallon with a two-hopper, throws across the diamond, and there's 5-3, the put out for out number one. Brings up the DH, Hunter Bass. He had a single back in the second and was stranded on third. He bats here with one out, and the base is empty in the fourth. Bulky, Greiman, Sokup in the outfield. Fallon, Martin, Russ, Torres in the infield. Rudwick and Carlton, the battery. As we play here in the bottom of the fourth, and Weimer. And it's a good-looking field. Lots of seats, that's for sure. It is not new, I can tell you that. Breaking ball, deemed to be low according to Blue, makes the count 1-1. So Ace is on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Fastball up and in makes it a 2-1 count to Bass. Batting for the second time tonight, Hunter Bass, the senior. Waits for Rudwick to get his sign. Now the windup. That one inside, called ball 3. So after getting the initial batter on a 1-2 pitch, he's down in the count 3-1 with 1 out and the base is empty. Tristan Rudwick. Right-hander brings swing and a miss on what would have been ball 4, I would assume, because it was up in his eyes. And the count is now full, so Rudwick back in the count. Throws a fastball right down the middle, and he's called out on strikes for the second out. Unofficially have that as the 5th strikeout. There's a fly ball to center. Greiman drifts back towards the middle of the outfield and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. And 3 up and 3 down. The Wolves have a good defensive inning. So we head to the top of the 5th. Time's running short here on the Wolves Network. We're back. Left fielder Dylan Bulkey will bat to lead it off here in the top of the 5th. Caden Jammer throws a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Texting a couple of the Davenport dads as there's strike 2, and said he has to have some chink in his armor somewhere. We just got to find it. 0-2 to Bulkey. Did he offer? I don't know if he did or not. Here we go, 1-2. That's up and away. Bulkey's worked to keep the count even at 2-2. As the leadoff hitter for the Wolves here in the 5th. Line drive, shortstop there. Hurt makes the grab. L6 is out number 1. That brings up the right fielder, Daniel Sokup. 19 RBI on the season, 8 doubles, 2 triples. Had one of each in the last series against Cuero, where the Wolves lost the opener 4-2 in 11 innings, came back and won 13-2, and then won 2-1 in the 3rd and deciding game as he takes ball 1 from Jammer. Again, one of the to Sokup, who struck out swinging, retired 2-3 as the ball was in the dirt. He's got a 2-0 pitch. Time to drive something. Takes a good cut, almost had it. Fouls it back to the screen, straight back, which means he's on it. Now he needs to get ready for a 2-1. Caden Jammer. Fastball in the air to left. Angling foul over the left fielder's head, and it's a fair ball. That'll be extra bases. The left fielder Hathaway gets it in time, and Sokup has a double for the Wolves to make something start here in the 5th. How about that, Daniel Sokup? A double to the left, down the left field line. He's on second base with 1 out and 1 on. Now Ethan Rush, who has 26 runs batted on the season, batting in the 9 hole tonight. He flew out to center field on a softly hit ball. It wasn't a line drive is what I'm saying. Sokup takes his lead. There's a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Juarez goes over and makes the play as Sokup takes third. 4-3, we advance the runner to third. Now to score on a wild pitch or anything. And now the leadoff hitter is Braden Mulkey, the hitting leader on this team for the last couple of years. Committed to Baylor, 416 the average. He was retired 3 unassisted and struck out 2-3 on a ball in the dirt. Now he has a runner on third and 2 out. Jammer's first pitch fastball. Yeah, maybe not a fastball. That one down and a little bit away. Mulkey chased it, and he's down 1 strike. Braden Mulkey takes one up and away. The count is even at 1-1 as Sokup is at third base. Jammer's next pitch on the ground. That's a base hit, and that's through, and we tied the game. The Wolves, that one's got past both fielders. Mulkey digs to second, and he's in there with another double. That one between the second baseman and the bag, the center fielder I didn't notice, but must have been shaded over towards left field. So back-to-back doubles and RBI. And the Wolves have tied the score at 1-1. Talked about finding a chink in the armor, and they have with back-to-back doubles off Jammer. The standout pitcher has given up the first run of the game for the Wolves. It's 1-1. They still have a runner on second with 2 outs. And now Gary Torres, who's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a strikeout. Ball was hit a lot harder than I think I initially noticed. And it rolled almost to the warning track before the Greenway and Shepard could run it down. Jammer's first pitch to Torres. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Torres, a .448 average coming in with 23 runs batted in. He has 4 doubles and 2 triples to his credit this season. That doubled the 11th of the year for Mulkey. And his 17th RBI. He gets back into second on a nice throw by Jammer to the shortstop, Hurt. Count remains 0-1 to Torres. First baseman, senior first baseman with an open stance. Don't think I've mentioned that tonight, but he does have an open stance. Mulkey takes his lead. That one's upstairs, and it's 2-1 to the 2-hole hitter. So we've got to him. Let's see if we can do some more damage with our 2-hole hitter, Gary Torres. He asks for time as Jammer was taking too much time. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. There are 2 outs. Mulkey's at second base after his 2-out RBI double. Drove home Sokup. Torres waits. Jammer's 1-1. Upstairs, but they called it a strike. Goes to 1-2 in Jammer's favor. Boy, that ball was high. That was definitely at the numbers. So Jammer now ahead in the count, can throw almost anything. That fastball low and away. Catcher tried to pull it in, but it's a ball. It's 2-2. You got 1 call. Oh, O'Hara's out barking at Blue. Well, you already got 1 call. I don't know why you need another one. That ball was outside and it was low. Torres waits. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Deuce is all over. 2-hole hitter at the plate. Fouled it back up into the stadium. Count remains 2-2. Carlton, the on-deck batter, goes and grabs it. Torres will step back in and wait for Jammer's second 2-2 offering. Threw it by him, strikeout. So they get out of the inning, but not until the Wolves have tied the score. They leave another runner. We head to the bottom of the 5th in a 1-all game on the Wolves Network. And we're back to Weimar High School's Veterans Park. Holt Blessing, the first baseman who bats ninth in their order, comes to the plate here in the bottom of the fifth. We're now tied at 1-all as the Wolves tie it at the top of the fifth with a single run. The Bulldogs got their single. There's strike one to Blessing. Both the first base coach and Coach O'Hara, who's at third base for Sweeny. There's a line drive over the shortstop's head. No way for Martin to get to it, and a leadoff single for the 9-hole hitter of Sweeny, and they threaten again here in the bottom of the sixth. Now Caden Jammer, the pitcher, is due up. He has flown out to right and struck out back in the second. He now bats here in the fifth with a runner on first and nobody out. Rudway had a great inning, and he wants to bunt, takes a strike. Tell you what, their fans are what you call entitled. Every pitch is the wrong what Blue called now. Every pitch. Strike one the count. Jammer waits. Catcher sets up outside. Breaking ball, fouled back. And that makes the count 0-2 with a runner on first and nobody out. Coaching staff not happy that he couldn't get the bunt down, so now starts more signs. So Jammer, we'll see if he's still bunting. And most of the time you don't with two strikes, but might catch the Wolves' breaking ball just a tad inside. Count goes to 1-2. He's their leadoff hitter in the lineup, second hitter of this inning with a runner on first and nobody out. He bats now with a 1-2 pitch from Rudwick as he comes to the stretch. That one fouled down the right field line, and it's just foul. The first baseman, Torres, was busting for it. Sokup, who was relatively deep, had a long run. Torres just basically past the outfield or infield dirt, but couldn't catch it over his head, and the count remains 1-2 to Caden Jammer. A good pitch that he got under and was late. So Rudwick back on the toe on the rubber. Runner again takes his lead from first. Another 1-2 pitch. Fastball tails inside. The count is even now at 2-2. Catcher Carlton sets up on the outer half. There it is. That's strike three. The throw to first. And he got him. It's a double play. Oh, my. Strike him out. Throw him out. The runner caught stealing. 2-3 for out number 2, and that's a double play. Can't even imagine what Blessing was doing that far off the base, as the runner was called out on an off-speed pitch, or the batter was called out, and the runner didn't get back to the bag. So 2 balls straight to the 2-hole hitter, Caden Hurt, their shortstop. He grounded out to second and doubled back in the third to left field. Takes a breaking ball inside for ball 3. As with 2 quick outs, or not quick outs, but 2 outs on the double play, now Rudwick has gone 3-0 to the 2-hole hitter, Hurt. Climb back in now. Strike one as Hurt throws his bat away. Right down the middle at the knees. It looked. You can't even imagine why he thought that was a ball. Rudwick's 3-1. Grounded to third. Fallon bobbles it. Now throws across the diamond. 5-3 the put out. And the Wolves are out of the inning after giving up a leadoff single. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We head to the top of the 6th. It's 1-1 on the Wolves Network. Yeah, we head to the top of the 6th, and Elvis is in the house. Elvis Carlton, the catcher for the Wolves, number 11, has struck out and walked in 2 plate appearances and hits that fastball right back up the middle for a leadoff single. Elvis starts the Wolves. Aiden Guerra is the courtesy runner for the catcher. So Guerra at first. Cooper Martin, the RBI leader, with 31 on the season bats. He's popped up to second and flown out to left in 2 plate appearances. 0 for 2 officially. 8 doubles to his credit, along with those 31 RBIs. He's going to bunt, puts it down the third base line. They'll field it, throw to first. They get Martin at first, but the runner advances to second on the sac bunt. That's the first out.
Third baseman, number 13, Barrett Fallon.
Barrett Fallon, the sophomore third baseman. 17 runs batted in. 5 doubles on the season. Bats with a runner on second and only 1 out. The sophomore running back pops it up. Right side, first baseman Blessing calling for it and makes the catch, and there's 2 out now. As Fallon pops out for the second out. That leaves it to the senior, Emmett Greiman. He's grounded out to first. Actually grounded out pitcher to first. And flown out to center. Greiman, 330 is average with 19 runs batted in. Has 3 doubles. Good time for one here. That breaking ball's away. And again, the entitled bunch asking for everything to be a strike from Jammer. And folks, he's really, really good. He doesn't need any help. That ball was low and away. 1-0 pitch to Greiman with a runner on second and 2 out. That one's in the dirt. It's The runner goes, slides into, he's safe, he gets under the tag. It looked to me like he got under the tag on a wild pitch. Now Guerra is at third with 2 outs. Griman ahead in the count, 2-0. Their coach O'Hara is out there arguing like he's done with every play tonight. I'm telling you what, I agree. They're very good, and they've won a lot of games. Definitely got in there. Definitely. Video replay says he was under the tag. Great work by Wick Productions. So Griman will come back in with a 2-0 count with 2 outs and the runner now on third. Griman sends it back up the middle. It doesn't have enough juice, though. He runs hard to first. The throw's good, and they get him 6-3. So the Wolves don't get the runner home from third. So it's still 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in Weimar on the Wolves Network. We're back. There you see the catcher Carlton after his conversation with Rudwick. And we're almost ready for the bottom of the 6th. It's a 1-all score in the first of the best of 3 series here in this area round of the playoffs. The UIL 4A Region 4 playoffs. Curveball fouled back up and out of play on the first base side. Peyton Perez, the batter. Very little light in this area we're calling the game, the best area to do it from in the stadium. But very little light, and my ball strike boxes are not being found very easily. How's that? 1-1 to count as that ball is low and away. That one's up and away. And the count to Perez is now 2-1. Leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs. Here in the bottom of the 6th, he's their 3-hole hitter, the catcher. Breaking ball fouled off the end of the bat, and it's 2-2. Their run scored on a balk, so they have no RBI. The count's 3-2 to their leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2, pardon me, now it's 3-2. Didn't mean to forecast that, but it is 3-2 now to their leadoff hitter in the 1-all game here in Weimar. Tough hop, Fallon comes up with it. Throws it across the diamond, 5-3. Out number one. Timmy Shepard, the center fielder, now due up. He's walked and struck out.
The center fielder, number 6, Timmy Shepard.
Walked, got to first in the first, then in the third struck out. The base is empty and one out. He comes to the plate for Sweeny. Sweeny, the home team, so they will get the last bat, just like they're batting here in the bottom of the sixth. Pop up, first baseman catches it. Great job by Torres. So the pop up to 3 is out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down. Now Noah Juarez, the second baseman. He is lined out to third and lined out to second in 2 at bats. So 2 lineouts, officially 0 for 2 in the book. First pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. Rudwick's 1-0. Blue says it was high, and I won't argue with that because that's where the last one was that got called a ball by Jammer. That breaking ball catches the zone, and it's 2-1. Haven't thrown that a lot lately. That was a good look at that one right there. That one sails away from him, and it's 3-1 with 2 outs and the base is empty. Don't want to give him a base runner here. Stewart, the third baseman, on deck. Rudwick's 3-1 delivery to the plate. Inside, it's ball 4. So the 2-out walk brings up the third baseman, Brandon Stewart. He walked and scored their only run and then grounded out to third. In the fourth, he bats with 2 outs and a runner on first. Blue gets some more baseballs as Carlton went out to have some words with Rudwick. Davenport is actually out hit Sweeny 4-3 right now on the scoreboard. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 1. They have given us an error on the scoreboard, and I'm trying to find out where that would be, but I don't have it. That fastball stays inside and evens the count at 1-1. Runner on first is Juarez. 2 are out. Rudwick checks him, goes to the stretch, steps off the rubber and bluffs to first. Moves his arm around and then toes the rubber again. Stewart back in the box, the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat, and it's 1-2 towards the Davenport dugout. So the count's 1-2 with 2 outs. Like to get out of this one too without any damage. They threatened twice, not so much since. Wolves used a nice double play in the last inning. There goes the runner, breaking ball, strike 3. That's 3 outs. So we head to the 7th. We head to the top of the 7th. The Wolves will have Bulky, Sokup, and Russ due up 7, 8, and 9 in the order when we come back in a 1-1 tie on the Wolves Network. Bulky, the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 7th for the Wolves. First pitch, Jammer, low and away. Ball 1. Jammer's thrown a heck of a game, but we found a way to chink his armor last inning. Need to do it again. There's a strike for strike 1. It evens the count at 1-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Wolves here in the 7th inning, the final inning of regular play. The top of the 7th as the Wolves are the road team. Fastball back up the middle. There's a base hit. Belke gets in the hit parade. The 5th hit of the game for the Wolves as he's on first base to lead off the inning. Dylan Bulke. Now Daniel Sokup, who had that double to lead off, or with 1 out back in the 6th. They're going to go out and talk to Caden Jammer. Wolves coaches looking to the press box, probably trying to get a pitch count on him. And they're going to change pitchers. So Caden Jammer goes out. Maybe he's passing a threshold. I don't think there's any way he can come back on Saturday, but we'll see. See who they bring in. If we can catch a number. We'll take a break and talk about him when we come back on the Wolves Network. We're back, and the right-handed pitcher for Sweeny is Lane Cole. No stats. This apparently is their closer with a live fastball. That's what I saw in the warm-ups. That's the scouting report.
Michael Harris running at first base.
So Michael Harris is the courtesy runner for Bulke at first. So Harris at first.
Daniel Suck up second.
Sokup the batter. Had a double and scored the Wolves' only run. He wants to bluffs the bunt and takes a strike. Not what he wanted for sure. He pulled the bat back, thinking it was wide, but it caught the zone, said blue, and it's 0-1. Sokup checks the sign from third. Coach Sluter, Dennis, give that sign. Now the 0-1 pitch from Cole. Sokup bunts, puts it foul in front of the plate. Foul behind the plate, pardon me. Wouldn't be foul if it was in front of the plate. Good courtesy by Pierce to pick up Daniel's bat, who now finds himself with a runner on first and nobody out, but down in the count 0-2. Both pitches to bunt were low. He took the first, bunted that one into the dirt. Again, Lane Cole, their closer. So you know he can throw. There's a breaking ball that Daniel swung and missed for the first out. Now Ethan Rust. Flown out to center and grounded out to second in 2 trips. His ground out to second advanced Daniel to third, where he scored on Mulkey's double. 1 out, runner on first. Rust, the 9-hole hitter for the Wolves. Will he bunt him to second? He swings back to the mound. Cole throws to second. They get the runner there. Not in time at second, or not at time at first, so fielder's choice. Fielder's choice.
Forsyth, second, round number 2.
So the second out is the force out. Now the runner is Rust for Mulkey. I've had that RBI double to right center field back in the fifth, the fifth is where we scored our run, not the 6th. So Mulkey bats with a chance to do some more damage and takes a home run cut on the first pitch on a fastball inner half and doesn't connect. So strike 1 to Braden Mulkey. 16 runs batted in, make that 17 after that RBI in the 5th. The DH tonight. That's a breaking ball low and in for ball 1. It's 1-1. We're into the 7th, top of the 7th. 1-1 tie between Sweeny and Davenport. Davenport batting here in the top of the 7th. The throw to first is not in time. Rust gets back. Pops it up, third base side, back up and out of play. Now Cole is ahead in the count, 0-2, 1-2, pardon me. 1-2, I can see that. To Lane Cole, their closer. That pitch is low and away, and the count is even up at 2-2 to Mulkey, who bats with a runner on first and 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Wolves definitely need to get a run on the board before we go to the bottom of the 7th. Fouls this one back to the screen as he stays alive on a 2-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-1 score. Torres on deck. Rust takes his lead from first. The 2-2 is low, and Mulkey takes it for ball 3. So it's a full count. With 2 outs, the runner can get a lead at first and go. Mulkey waits. Cole to the stretch. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. So the Wolves go down in the top of the 7th without scoring. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's tied at 1-1. The Bulldogs will bring up the bottom 3 in their order to start things off in the bottom of the 7th on the Wolves Network. There's their flag, and you can see the winds are very light here tonight. We had a breeze last half inning, but it didn't last very long. They bring up their DH, Hunter Bass. He has singled and been called out on strikes in 2 at-bats, 1 for 2 against Rudwick. Turns a first pitch breaking ball outside for ball 1. That breaking pitch stays upstairs, and it's 2-0, not something you want to do to their leadoff hitter. There's a strike. 2-1 the count. Bass back in the box. Takes a breaking ball wide, and it's 3-1. To the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 7th. Any run scores wins this one for them in the best of 3 series. There's ball 4, and he's walked the leadoff batter. Not the advice you want. So they've got a man on first, the potential winning run. And Grant Hadaway, he reached on a sac bunt and flown out to center as we're going to have a meeting at the mound. As we'll have to see, my guess is, well, we'll see if we make a pitching change or not. Don't really know who would be next. But we'll see. Talks to the infielders at some length. Home plate blue. I got a courtesy runner at first for Bass. Well, they're leaving in Rudwick. And Hadaway, the due batter. Don't know who their courtesy runner is. Finally, someone comes out of the box. And it's Wyatt Ellis. Been a courtesy runner a bunch tonight already, so Ellis at first. Hearing from his head coach right now. So Ellis takes his place at first.
Your attention, please. Now running at first base, number 3, Wyatt Ellis. Ellis,
So
runner at first base.
Hadaway, not the batter. This is Lane Cole.
The batter is the pitcher, Lane.
So he'll come in to bat for Hadaway. Cole is the batter. We don't have any stats, so I can't tell you how good he is, but he is the new batter for Hadaway. In the 8-hole. First pitch is a ball. Cole bunts, first base. They got a chance to. They beat the runner at first. The pitcher had to cover the first baseman. The pitcher went to get the ball. The first baseman probably should have, but the pitcher wasn't covering. So a bunt single. So they've got runners on first and second now with nobody out. And Holt Blessing, the first baseman, who struck out and grounded out to third. And they got a pinch hitter for him too. No. This is Colt Blessing. Pardon me.
The first baseman, number 12, Blessing.
So Blessing will come to the plate with 2 on and nobody out. You would guess they'll bunt with the jammer due up. There's a curveball that wasn't called a strike. Not real sure where it was, but it looked pretty good. So ball 1. Blessing will go talk to his third base coach. Carlton will come back to the plate. So Blessing will come back towards the plate with 2 on and nobody out. An infield single followed a walk. And they've got a threat that could put this one in the books for game one. They say that ball's outside as Blues starting to tighten up just a little bit. Nothing free in the 7th. So 2-0 the count with 2 on and nobody out. First baseman Torres is charging hard. Third baseman Fallon trying to stay back. Popped in the air. Back to the screen, off the screen. Strike one, 2-1. Not sure would have been a help. Blessing will bunt, Torres will charge. Towards third. Throw to first is not in time, and they've loaded the bases. On a fielder's choice, not a hit. Well, we're going to call that an infield hit as well. So we're going out to the mound to switch pitchers. We'll take a timeout and talk about that when we come back on the Wolves Network. Hayden Harper, the new pitcher for the Wolves. The senior right-hander doesn't have a record. His 15th appearance on the season. No record, but he does have a save to his credit. So, Hayden Harper, a senior, has the bases loaded and no one out. We need strikeouts and ground balls hit right back to players. First pitch is a ball to Caden Jammer. Their leadoff hitter is up with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. That one, breaking ball in there for strike one. It's 1-1. Nowhere to put him. You need a pop-up. You need a strikeout. That ball's hit through, and that's the winning hit. And the Bulldogs will win game one of this best-of-3 series by a 2-0 score. Caden Jammer with the game-winning hit here in the bottom of the 7th as he came up with the bases loaded and nobody out. So they'll be back here tomorrow night The Wolves Network won't be here, but you can follow them on Game Changer for you Wolves fans, as they've got a win tomorrow night here and then again Saturday here in Weimar. So for everyone, Michael and Sean, two great jobs of photography tonight, shooting this game, and our camera out in center field, that is the stand, did a great job as well. For everyone with Wick Productions, this is Tony Brubaker saying good night and God bless. The Wolves fall 2-1 in 7 innings on the Wolves Network.